Traveling in and outside the loop from Memorial to the Medical Center. Information you want to improve your day and make your life better. Live from the Channel 11 studios, it's Great Day Houston. And now, your host, Deborah Duncan.
Barbie dressed for swim and fun is only $3. Her lovely fashions range from $1 to $5. Look for Barbie wherever dolls are sold.
Yeah, that Barbie ain't $3 anymore. The Mattel Toy Company launched Barbie in 1959. She was the perfect specimen of a woman with impossible measurements. Being the best housewife possible was also an overriding theme during the 50s. You were encouraged to take care of the kids, your husband, the house, and do it all with a smile. That's hard to do when you don't even feel like getting out of bed. It's what can happen with aging, but our next guest says we can feel better like we did decades ago. Please welcome Dr. Stephen Hotze with the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, along with his patient, Josephine. Hello.
Thank you, Deborah.
All right. Josephine, you went through that thing that so many women deal with, but yet not a lot of doctors are able to tell them what the problem is. After your third child in particular, what happened?
I was very, very sick. I walked into the Hotze clinic. I didn't feel good. My body felt like there was glue inside of it. Yeah. I was stuck.
You were tired? I mean,
exhausted.
When we say tired, we mean fatigue, exhausted.
Yeah, there's exhaustion.
This was back in...
Yeah, it started from when my first child was born.
In 1994.
And everybody says to you, oh, it's mummy tired. You're just tired because you're a new mommy.
You got a newborn, your body has been through some things, wait a while, it'll bounce back.
Right, it never did. I didn't have a chance to let it bounce back. And of course, after the third child, things got really bad. I was chronically sick at the doctor all the time.
Hair falling out?
Hair falling out, very bad weight gain.
In fact, this is a picture of you right there with about 40 more pounds on you.
There's a few pounds there.
Yeah. Even though you weren't doing anything crazy to gain that weight. And so, again, people look at you like, you need to be exercising and eating better. You're like, that's not the problem. And they're like, sure, it's not.
One of my favorite things was everybody was going, I love this breastfeeding thing. I can eat whatever I want. I gained weight while I was breastfeeding. I gained many pounds.
Yeah.
And it never seemed to come off, and it didn't matter what I did. I just didn't feel good.
I went through the same thing. I was even willing to breastfeed other people's children. If it meant I could lose weight. If I could lose weight, I was willing to do it. Yeah, it wasn't happening. All right. But Dr. Hotze, what you're hearing right now is something you hear all the time, but oftentimes it's after someone has been to so many other doctors and has thrown their hands up and went, what is it? And you've had people sit in your office in tears going, really? There's an answer for it.
Right. Well, what Josephine has experienced back starting in 1994, and then finally when she came to see us in 2002, so it's been over 10 years, came in with, 60-pound weight gain, fatigued, can't think clearly, tired all the time, lost romantic moods and inclination, just feels terrible. And this happened after childbirth, which is very common. I mean, how many women do you know, how many of you ladies felt like there was a change in your metabolism after you had a baby?
You just weren't the same.
The reason is, guess what changes? Your hormones change. It's a change in the hormones. They don't kick back on right, and that can lead to a problem called hypothyroidism, which is low thyroid function at the cellular level. And thyroid hormones are what enable your cells to produce and use energy. So if you don't get enough thyroid into your cells, guess what? Your metabolism changes. That means your energy level goes down and you don't function as well. You don't think as well.
You gain weight, the hair falls out, you get sick more often.
You're fatigued, insomnia, joint and muscle aches and pain, stomach disorders. Your hair's falling out. You just don't feel well. And so what do you do to correct it? Well, you put thyroid back in the tank.
Wait, you don't put an antidepressant?
You don't put
yeah.
Right. You go to what happens, unfortunately, most physicians are trained pharmaceutically so that they want to treat these various symptoms of low thyroid with a drug.
Yeah, well, treating symptoms, not the problem that's causing the symptoms.
And if you address the underlying problem, which is thyroid, lacking enough thyroid in the cells to make the body function normally, if you address that and give desiccated natural thyroid, guess what? Then you get Josephine, who lost 65 pounds, 10 years ago, and has kept it off.
And your energy level, all that stuff is so much different today.
And she runs triathlon, and now she's she's a taekwondo instructor. And
I teach taekwondo. I run every day. I've got boundless energy.
Yeah, yeah, because before that would not have happened. We were talking during the commercial break about how the wife or the mother back then didn't quite deal with these issues the way we deal with them today. Is it that we just now know how to diagnose it, or is it just that medically it was treated differently back then?
Well, back in the 50s, doctors do what I do. They listen to the patient and they look and did a good physical examination and could make the diagnosis clinically that they had low thyroid. Now the doctors depend solely on blood tests, and the range is so wide, 95% of people fall within the so-called normal range, even though they don't feel normal. The doctor says your blood tests are normal. You just need drugs to treat the symptoms instead of treating the underlying problem. In the 50s, they would have given you a clinical trial of thyroid to see if that improved the situation. They don't do that now.
All right. Well, Dr. Hotze brought a copy of his new Hypothyroidism, Health, and Happiness book for everyone in our audience. It explains exactly what he's talking about with all kinds of hormones and how that impacts the body. For those of you at home, you can order your free copy from thyroidanswer.com. Dr. Hotze also hosts a radio show, Health and Wellness Solutions. You can catch it Monday through Thursday from noon to 1 p.m. on 700 AM KSEV. And to make an appointment with the Hotze Health and Wellness Center and start feeling better, call 281-698-8698, 281-698-8698, or log on to hotzehwc.com. Also, you heard an accent there, and people always say, where was that person from? You are from originally?
Far West Texas.
Which is also known as Australia. All right. Well, thank you very much for sharing your story with us. I'm glad you're feeling better. We'll be right back with the king himself, Elvis Presley. We'll come back.